Greetings and felicitations.
Hip, hip, hurrah, tally-ho.
Hey, my little Georgia Peach.
Hey, Puddin'.
Let's talk about TV shows of 1972.
1972?
Well, let's talk about the cost of living. In fact, how much was the average home back then?
$30,000.
How about the average comic book?
20 cents.
What about a ticket to a movie?
$1.50.
Who was the WWF champion?
Pedro Morales.
And who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel?
It was To Your Scattered Bodies Go by Philip Jose Farmer.
In fact, there were quite a few things that were noteworthy in television for the year of 1972, or related to television. What happened on January 21st?
The first Star Trek convention was held in New York City's Statler Hilton Hotel.
And in mid-February, John Lennon and Yoko Ono co-hosted an entire week on the Mike Douglas Show. How about on February 19th?
Sammy Davis Jr. made a guest appearance on All in the Family.
Oh, I love that episode. That's where he kissed Archie. Oh, Archie wasn't happy about that. How about August 26th?
Effective with this issue for that date, TV Guide discontinues the practice of using a C to indicate color programs and instead starts using BW for monochrome, saving a lot of printer's ink in the process. At the time, about half of the TV households in the U.S. had color sets. Oh, half? Well, that's still, But
you could tell that was the progress.
Yeah,
In 1972, 50% of the United States had color televisions, and it wasn't going to slow down going forward. Except at my grandfather's house, he never replaced his black and white televisions. That's how I could always tell which shows I watch at his house and which shows I watch at my parents' house, because if it was something that was fairly modern, and I remember seeing it in black and white, it meant that I watched it at his house, because he wasn't changing. In fact, talk about things that are non-changing and epic. On October 27th, the 5,000th episode of Captain Kangaroo aired. I mean, we both grew up with Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, that show was on a long time. I didn't realize, it's...
November 8th.
Home box office, HBO, is launched in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
That's one of the things, I always think HBO as an 80s thing, not something from 1972.
Yeah, it hit it big in the 80s, and it's still popular now.
And there are quite a few debuts, including Sanford and Son, Are You Being Served?, the All in the Family spin-off Maude, as well as Kung Fu. We're going to open up TV Guide, as we always do. This one is going to be June 3rd through 9th, 1972, has a picture of Rod Serling on the cover, and he's promoting Night Gallery.
That was an interesting show. Yeah, another one of his things. Really not as good as Twilight Zone, but it was pretty good.
What's interesting about Night Gallery is that most of us, once we see Rod Serling, we think of Twilight Zone, but he purposely wanted to make this more horror-oriented instead of sci-fi-oriented. He just wanted to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, it was a little scarier and had somewhat of the monster angle, but definitely the horror angle.
Yes, and occult. In fact, in the article that's in the magazine about Rod Serling, and we noticed that this was a common thing, it wasn't necessarily promoting what the actor or creator was doing at the time with regards to their productions, but it talked about their family life and their personal life. And it says that Rod Serling at this point was in his 40s. He had been a paratrooper in the past, and he was financially stable. He was smoking 3 packs a day, and he was almost going through a midlife crisis because he still felt that there was more for him to do. He even jumped out of a helicopter because he wanted to see if he still had it within him to do the things he did when he was a young man. He tried to pick up golf, but he quit because he wasn't good at it. But he felt that writing was a wonderful outlet for him. And he had that thirst for constantly writing good stories.
That's interesting. The jumping out of an airplane kind of sounded like the song I Hurt Myself, like to see if I could still feel pain or excitement or anything.
Yeah, when you're as super successful like he was, he won 6 Emmys from The Twilight Zone. He wanted to constantly better himself. He already had 2 kids that were grown at that time. He really, for the outside view, everything in his life was happy and successful. But it's almost depressing reading this because, I mean, if you're smoking 3 packs a day, that's a strong addiction. And we know that he died young. It's sad in some ways that someone that's so creative was still having some kind of internal struggles.
Well, he was from an era when more people smoked. But yeah, that does seem excessive. I mean, yeah, because it is an addiction.
That's my grandfather at his peak smoked 3 packs a day.
And you have to think that because, Twilight Zone was his most successful show, and at this point it had been over with by 10 years, and so, what else was he supposed to do? I mean, yeah, he was trying to top himself, and he just couldn't.
He went on the lecture circuit, and we know that that was a thing that creators did during that time period. Gene Roddenberry was known for going on the lecture circuit in college campuses. I don't think that's so much of a thing today. TV creators going to college campuses after they're done producing shows.
No, it's not. But yeah, it must have been something that just wore out then. I think that, it has to be someone who's really popular for college people to really care about it, unless it is a filmmaking school or something.
Yeah, but with regards to Night Gallery, it was an impressive show. What was the difference with Night Gallery as opposed to Twilight Zone is that Twilight Zone, they only had the budget to get up-and-coming actors for the most part, and then later on, these actors who became big, we look back at those classic Twilight Zone episodes and say, wow, look at this. This is when they were young. This is when they were virtually unknown. Whereas with Night Gallery, you could tell that they wanted purposely to get known actors involved more so.
So that was one of the reasons that people watched the show, because it had these actors. I mean, right, like TV Guide would give the names. Oh, look, who's on this one?
We just watched the one with Leonard Nimoy in it recently.
Yes, and that one was interesting. I don't think that was one of the best episodes either. But
It was post-StarTrek, though.
Yeah, but it was good to see him.
Yeah, it totally was. Bill Shatner was in an episode, so he was in both, just like Leonard Nimoy, both Twilight Zone and in Night Gallery.
They both did a lot of these genre shows, yeah. And of course they were getting these parts on as many shows as they could.
We know the actors like John Austin, Vincent Price, Victor Bueno, Mark Hamill, Buddy Ebsen, Donna Douglas, Trina Parks, Felix Celia. They all made appearances on this show, plus more.
Yeah, interesting names and people who have been acting a long time.
Yeah, so Night Gallery is definitely a show that's worth checking out or rewatching.
Light Bright, the toy that lets you create beautiful pictures with light. Work with colorful pegs that glow with light, light bulb not included. Make people, animals, things, and with refills, Bugs Bunny or Bozo the Clown. You can make lots of pretty pictures with Light Bright from Hasbro.
So let's open up TV Guide and see what shows we would have watched during this time period. And as always, I'm going to come over your house and watch TV with you because TV Guide always starts on Saturday. Can I watch Saturday morning cartoons with you?
Oh yeah, we always do that. Year after year, starting before we were born.
Alright, so here's the serials that debuted in 1972. Which one would you like me to bring over? 100% Natural cereal? Baron von Redberry? Cinnamon Raisin Bran? Cocoa Hoots? Heartfelt Natural cereal? Mr. Wonderful Surprised chocolate or strawberry flavored? Sir Grapefellow? Or Winnie the Pooh Great Honey Crunchers?
Oh my God! So I guess grown-ups used to eat cereal too, right? Because I think that's what some of the healthy stuff was for grown-ups, wasn't it?
Exactly. I would never have eaten Heartfelt Natural cereal or 100% Natural cereal.
Yeah, and that's the name of the cereal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that last one, the Winnie the Pooh cereal, sounded good.
Winnie the Pooh Great Honey Crunchers.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, this is the Kansas City edition that we're reading. 7:30, Deputy Dog, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, or Roadrunner?
Scooby-Doo.
8 o'clock, Funky Phantom, Woody Woodpecker, or Harlem Globetrotters?
Harlem Globetrotters.
I like that too. Jackson 5, Pink Panther, or Help, It's the Hair Bear Bunch?
Jackson 5. Yeah, I barely remember that show, but yeah.
9 o'clock, Bewitched, The Jetsons, or Pebbles and Bam Bam?
Bewitched?
What if I want to watch The Jetsons?
No, we're going to watch Bewitched.
You always control the TV. 10 o'clock, NBC Children's Theater, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Sabrina.
I like that show. And right after that, Josie and the Pussycats. 11 o'clock, Johnny Quest, Mr. Wizard, or The Monkees?
Let's go with Mr. Wizard.
Oh, I love Mr. Wizard. 11:30, Lancelot Link, The Bugaloos, or You Are There?
I don't really know those shows.
12 o'clock, American Bandstand, featuring Buffy St. Marie and Bill Withers, The Buck Owens Show, or CBS Children's Film Festival featuring Heidi, or Wrestling?
American Bandstand.
And there's a close-up, a box on the bottom, NBC Children's Theater. Bill Cosby talks to children about drugs.
Yeah.
What's he teaching kids how to do? You slip people Mickeys?
Yeah, but Bill Cosby always did a lot of kids' shows, yeah.
All right, evening time, 5:30. Hee Haw, featuring Lynn Anderson singing Rose Garden, and Ray Sanders, I'm Gonna Walk all Over Georgia, or Country Music Review. Also at 6, The Lawrence Welk Show, a square dance to Y'all Come, an hour of country music featuring Peace in the Valley and Gentle on My Mind, or The Mod Squad.
I don't know, Hee Haw?
Lawrence Welk coming back again on 6:30, as well as Let's Make a Deal. I always like Let's Make a Deal.
I mean, it was funny sometimes. I might choose Lawrence Welk, though.
7 o'clock was Emergency, Peanuts, the 6th showing of You're in Love, Charlie Brown, or Bewitched.
Okay, Peanuts.
7:30, Boy, the way Glenn Miller played, All in the Family. 8 o'clock, Dick Van Dyke. We're getting to the point where since they have so many repeat movies coming on, such as Flame Over India or Black Gold, that these movies were taking over a lot of the time slots, and because there's only less than a half dozen channels, 3 networks, there's not a lot to watch except for repeat movies. 9 o'clock, though, was Mission Impossible.
So what time of year was this TV guide? June, okay. So when they were starting reruns for the summer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Carson was on at 10:30. Sunday morning. Lots of religious shows on Sunday morning, including 7:30, Davy and Goliath. As a kid, I didn't even know that was considered a religious show. It always had good morals to it, but I kind of viewed it as kind of like just a spin-off of Gumby. Bullwinkle's on at 10 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You have a choice. Sports Profile, Golf Tournament, or Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what the episode describes. There's no title to it. You try and figure out which episode this is. Kirk tries to deactivate a weapon which is digesting entire planets.
The Doomsday Machine.
Yes. Decker was played by William Wyndham. 7 o'clock Sunday evening, Lost in Space. Adventure. C, for color. The Robinsons are endangered by an alien youngster who has put himself in control of their imaginations. 9 o'clock is the Tom Jones Show. 10:30, Johnny Carson. And now we go into Monday morning. Lots of repeats now in the 70s. 6:30 in the morning, I Love Lucy. 8 o'clock, Captain Kangaroo, and the New Zoo Review. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah, I used to watch that.
9 o'clock, Sesame Street, as well as Lucille Ball. 9:30, My Three Sons. 10 o'clock, Family Affair. 10:30, Bewitched. Bewitched is on quite often.
Yeah. Isn't that neat? Because even when, like in the late 70s when I watched more TV, I think Bewitched was still on like twice a day.
11:30, Underdog. 3:30, Andy Griffith, as well as I Dream of Jeannie.
I like both of those shows.
Me too. 4 o'clock, Lucille Ball, as well as The Saint and Mr. Rogers. What would you pick out of those three? Lucille Ball, The Saint, or Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers.
4:30, My Three Sons, Dick Van Dyke, or The Electric Company?
Wow, well, The Electric Company. I like My Three Sons, too. Now, actually, you're saying Lucille Ball, like that was the name of her show?
She had one after I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball.
Well, she had the Lucy show.
And the
I remember
Lucy
that
show.
one. So that's 3 shows then with her.
Yes. I mean, she was still popular. None was as popular as I Love Lucy, though.
Right, yeah.
5 o'clock, I Dream of Jeannie, Sesame Street, or Leave It to Beaver?
I Dream of Jeannie.
5:30, Lost in Space. This time, space cyclists, misfits of the universe, have been ordered to destroy the Robinsons' planet. Dr. Smith fits through this episode as an on-again, off-again, green-haired Superman.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of made me want to watch it with that description.
7 o'clock, Monty Hall Smokin' Stokin' Fire Brigade Variety Special. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. And together, Chuck Mangione Concert. Yeah, he was a popular flugelhornist.
Well, I remember, because they did a remake of Laugh-In later that had Robin Williams. And so I used to watch that, and I didn't know that it was based on an old show.
Oh, go figure. Again, Lucy's listed at 8 o'clock. Here's Lucy.
Oh, so the name of that one is Here's Lucy.
Yeah. And then at 9 o'clock, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
10:30, Johnny Carson. And Tuesday evening, 5:30, Lost in Space. I mean, these descriptions of Lost in Space are epic. A living blue mist that feeds on fear and makes its victims vanish causes the Robinsons to disappear one by one until only young Will is left.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds intriguing.
I do remember the Electric Company being on later. It says it's listed here at 6:30.
Yeah, I think it used to come on maybe 7 or 7:30 when I used to watch it. I mean, that Electric Company was really one of my favorite shows, and I kept watching it even after I was really too old to watch it. You know, when it's teaching you how to read and all that. Yeah.
You watch it just for Spider-Man.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, of course. Hawaii Five-0 was on at 7:30. Repeat of I Love Lucy at 6:30. I mean, to see her name listed so many times is amazing.
Yes.
Lucille Ball at 9 o'clock. Wednesday evening, Mayberry RFD. Were you a fan of that show?
No, not that much. It was nothing like the Andy Griffith show.
Nothing at all like the Andy Griffith show. But the Partridge Family was on at the same time at 6:30.
Yeah, I love the Partridge Family.
Me too. And this is Brady Bunch at the same time. Well, that would be a tough choice for me. And wrestling on at the same time. Whoa. Wednesday at 6:30? Oh boy, I'd need 3 TVs. Adam 12 was on at 7. Night Gallery at 9 o'clock. The Different Ones. Rod Serling's tale about the fate of grotesque-looking teenager living at the turn of the next century.
Oh, one that takes place in the future.
Also, Tell David. Futuristic overtones in a drama about a woman's encounter with a friendly yet vaguely disturbing couple. Lagoda's Heads, from the story by August Derleth, features Denise Nichols as a tale of terror and African black magic. Whew, 3 stories in that one. And at the same time, Mannix was on. The title of the Mannix episode was Cat's Paw.
Okay.
Dragnet was on at 9:30, and Johnny Carson at 10:30.
I mean, I know my parents used to watch Dragnet, and my aunt Liz used to watch Johnny Carson. I mean, she would never miss that show.
My mother watched Johnny Carson a lot, too, and I would watch it with her as I got older. Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, Tarzan. Adventure in Color. 9 o'clock, Dean Martin Show, which I liked Dean Martin a lot. I liked all the Rat Pack stuff.
Yeah, I think my parents used to watch that too, yeah.
10:30, Johnny Carson. Yeah, this is the summertime. It's just lots of repeats. Friday evening, The Odd Couple. Huge Odd Couple fan. I absolutely love that show. Hollywood Squares at 7 o'clock. Featuring Mel Brooks, Paul Lynde, Rose Marie, Charles Nelson Riley. Remember him? He was like just a character. That's all I don't remember him being anything, like being in anything, just being himself.
He was a comedian, right?
And Ginger Rogers.
Yeah, it was great watching these shows. Like, a lot of these game shows had celebrities, and the same celebrities would always be on them, just like reality shows now with the same celebrities.
9:30, Nashville Music. Guests include Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton, and Ray Pillow.
Sounds like another one of my parents' shows, yeah.
10:30, Johnny Carson.
And 10:30 is such an odd time. I mean, I remember the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson was a 1-hour show. I mean, maybe back then it was 30 minutes, but yeah, so it's just odd for it to come on at 10:30. It used to be on at like 11 or 11:30.
That's right. It used to be in my area. That's well, yeah. Well, there were a lot of shows that, because this is the summertime, we saw a lot of repeats listed as opposed to new program. But 1972, other shows that weren't mentioned in this issue of TV Guide that we loved included Candid Camera, Doctor Who, Jeopardy, Masterpiece Theater, Monty Python's Flying Circus, The Benny Hill Show, The Carol Burnett Show. Boy, those are some good ones. But unfortunately, this was the last year that we get to see first run of Bewitched and My Three Sons.
Oh, wow. 2 shows I used to love, yeah. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our Facebook group. Live long, and may the force be with you. Nanu Nanu.